Happy Friday, everyone. It's Jackie P, your CFP, and welcome back to another edition of Factor Flop Friday. I will be reacting to financial advice on the internet and helping you separate good from the bad. So let's get started.
Here are the 3 reasons I would never leave my money invested in a 401k if I no longer worked for that company. Number 1, fees. There are fees just to be in a 401k. Some companies will pay for this when you're an employee, but when you leave, you're on your own.
He's not wrong here. More often than not, there are fees associated with the 401k, but a lot of the time you should be making your decision to stay with the 401k or not just on fees alone, because there are other factors that might determine a better decision.
Investment options, or lack thereof. Employers have to pay more money to give employees more investment options. Though no surprise there, 401ks are usually pretty limited.
Again, not wrong here. 401ks tend to have limited investment options. More often than not, when I see 401ks, they do have sufficient options to invest and get you to where you want to be. On the flip side, investing in an IRA on your own can also yield dangerous results, because if you can invest in anything, you might just invest in anything and jeopardize your retirement confidence.
Number 3, so I don't forget about it. According to the most recent study, it's currently about $1.65 trillion of forgotten money in old 401ks.
Another valid point. We have a lot of individuals that we serve who, during their onboarding process and we're doing their discovery calls, they say, hey, I had a job 5 years ago or 10 years ago or longer. I don't even know what happened to that company. I don't even know what happened to my money there. We tell folks, when you leave your job, you take your bag, you take your belongings, you should probably take your money too. And one thing he forgot to mention is the quality of the representatives that work at these 401k providers. Sometimes you might work with someone who has plenty of experience, they know what they're talking about. Others might not have the credentials that make sense to give you the proper advice. And additionally, I hate to say it, but there's been several reports of these 401k firms having their employees push products onto the participants of the 401k plans. Our friend Tyler, again, has a lot of valid points, but there are plenty of reasons why you should keep your money in a 401k. If you leave your job or you're laid off the year you turn 55, you can take distributions from that account with no penalty. However, if you retired and you roll that into an IRA, you will have to wait until you're 59 and a half to take distributions without penalty. Or you'll have to set up something called 72T, which is a little bit complicated. You'll need an advisor to set it up. But leaving some funds in a 401k might make sense to avoid all of that headache. And just to be clear, that only applies to the 401k at your most recent employer. And lastly, if you're taking advantage of a backdoor Roth IRA strategy, rolling over funds into an IRA may offset the efficacy of the strategy. If you don't know what the backdoor Roth IRA strategy is, I made a Monday Money Minute on it, and I'm not going to spend time to explain it here, but you can refer back to that video. Is this a fact or a flop? Honestly, it's in the middle. There are key details there that he makes good points, but he's not taking into account the full picture, which is, again, why blanket advice is very dangerous. So I guess we're going to call this a fumble, something in the middle, and now it's fact or flop or fumble Fridays. I don't know, working on the title, but thanks for listening. I'll see you next week.